Hey, and welcome to this week's edition of Trail Wisdom Weekly, where it's real talk for runners 35 plus. And I'm going to say runners, walkers, and hikers 35 plus who are in it for the long game. And what I mean, the long game of life. So if you run, walk, and hike, you're welcome here. My name is Sherry Donahue, and I'm a trail and ultra masters runner. So I started running after the age of 52. So yeah, I'm in it for the long game. And hey, who else is as well too? Now, I have something for you. And I read this on Substack. It was a fellow that I subscribed to, and he's a photographer, usually mountain bike photography. And he had a picture of the fellow who won this 65 plus category. And this fellow, what he said, I want you all to listen up here, especially if you are in the masters category or getting to the masters category. Listen up to what he said. He said, here's the fellow who won this 65 plus category. And he says, it is so nice to see people who are out there who basically they've been there, done that with kids and stuff like that, but they're taking life by the horns and they are going and living it, doing what they want, crushing it. And he said, and this, listen right here, he said, thank you. You are such an inspiration. We need you. He says, I'm 31. And I look to all you people out there who are living your best life. You're older in years and you're crushing it. He says, thank you. Thank you. We need that inspiration. And I have to agree with him. And when I see particularly people who are older than me, who are on the course or doing what they love, and it doesn't matter what sport it is, and they're out there, but they're doing it. Heck yeah, that's inspiring. I come from a farming community, and what was typical growing up was, work long and hard on the farm and then retire. They usually sell the farm, go to town, and they're dead in 5 years because they quit doing something. Let this be the message that don't quit doing something, live your best life. So this edition of Trail Wisdom Weekly, it is about the race that let me say goodbye. So when we look at races, we start the race, we finish the race, we get our medal, buckle, bling, and woohoo, yay, it's all done. But the race has plans for us. They really do. And it doesn't matter if it's a 5K or if it's a 200-mile ultra. Races have plans for us. And we don't know what we're going to get into when we toe that line and we start going for it. And, anybody who's watching a race, they don't know what happens either. And unfortunately, what's seen is, start the race, you're all happy, off you go, and then you finish the race and you're all smiles and wonderful. And there's the assumption that was that way all through the race. I'm here to tell you that's hogwash. Total hogwash. Yeah, some places are great and wonderful. You have a smile on the face, and there's some places that you had your freaking meltdown. And now I've seen a meltdown in the 7K trail race. So have I experienced meltdowns? Oh yeah. You could be puking your guts out. You don't know what the race is going to hand you. So this was a race. It was Iron Horse Ultra, and I'm going to give you a little bit about Iron Horse Ultra. It is in northern Alberta. So it's in the prairies in northern Alberta. It's not a mountain race, but don't be fooled. Do not be fooled by it not being a mountain race. It's got its own things to hand you, and elevation is one of them, truthfully. And by the way, if you want to read the show notes, the actual Substack essay for this podcast, the link is in the show notes. So head on over and read the full version. But Iron Horse Ultra, it is in the fall. It is in the first weekend of October. And right there, that's a wild card because the weather can either be really, really nice or the other end. That race has been called because of fog. You couldn't see anything. So it's a crapshoot as to what you get for weather. Now, as far as it's a beautiful race, it really is. It's a beautiful race. It's run on old train beds, gravel road. You're in the farmer's fields. And they do clear the cows before you get there, but maybe not. And the one thing about Iron Horse Ultra, if you don't see a flag for 2 minutes, turn around and go back and retrace your steps. And a lot of times look for flags in the trees as well as on the ground because there could be cows happen to like pin flags, and you might find the latest pin flag in a cow pie. Yeah. So it's a beautiful race. It's in the fall. And when I was I was on a team, and this was the race following the River's Edge Ultra, where I injured my knee. My knee was badly bruised, and was it maybe the best decision for me to be an Iron Horse, to be the last leg coming in on the relay team? Probably not. Maybe, I don't know. And you know what? I can't go back and relive that, but I'm going to tell you what happened. So I was on the 100K team, and I was running it into town. And my leg was 20 kilometers, windy down road, gravel roads, through the prairies, through the bush, through fields, climbing over fences and gates and whatnot. So, and all in all, it's a very decent leg. Now, driving up on the Friday, it was a beautiful day, gorgeous, gorgeous day. And in the rearview mirror, we saw a storm system coming in. So we were hoping this storm system would blow over us. No such luck. No such luck. Saturday morning, it was cold. That 6:30 a.m. start. It's really cold. It was cold. So weather didn't really get much better through the day. It was really nasty, a nasty, nasty crosswind. And it came to my leg to run. Now, before the race that week, I had gotten a call that my mom, 93 with dementia, her breathing became irregular. And what that means is she's on her way out. I don't know how long she's got. It could be a week, it could be 2 weeks, it could be a day. And I honestly had a very strong pull to be in this race. Despite my knee being injured, I had a very strong pull to be in this race. So I was going in this race. Now, I will also mention my mom was another province away. So she wasn't close at all. And so I was in this race, and it came from my time to go, and I went. And going through the prairies, like, you got to take a step back here. And before I started, I was still feeling pretty down about being handed my first DNF. And for those of you, like, a lot of people look at DNFs, nothing much, yeah, big deal. I look at that way now, but my first DNF, it really handed it to me. I was set on my butt something fierce, and it really was an ego check. It really was. Now, injured, ego check, here I am in another race. So it's sunsetting, it's in the prairies, and you think about it, prairie sky, sunsetting, geese flying overhead, and I just got the most incredible feeling ever. And this feeling was that I belonged. This was my sport. I belong out here. I belong in the prairies. Moreover, I belong in this sport and in this type of racing. It just felt so, so good. And then there was an image of my mom. And she was sitting on a bench in front of a tunnel of light. And she was waiting for permission. She was waiting for permission to cross over. And what that race gave me was a chance to talk to my mom, was a chance to talk to her on a different level and be uninterrupted. I gave her permission to go. I'm okay. I'm more than okay. My brothers are okay too. And you know what? She lived a good life. It is time for her to go. We will be fine. It'll suck, but you know what? We'll be fine. And that race in that moment gave me the biggest gift ever. And that was to be there without distraction. Because, when you're in the middle of nowhere, and middle of nowhere could be in the middle of any race out there, in the desert, in the Arctic, in the mountains, in the wherever. And when you're by yourself at night, you're alone. You have no choice but to be with your thoughts, to be with what's coming up. And that's what came up for me. And after I talked to my mom for quite a while, I just had this peace around me. I had this peace that not only was she going to be okay, but so was I. I was going to be okay. And I was exactly where I needed to be, where this is home for me. So I kept on running and I ran downhill and it was a windy downhill and I just let gravity take me. And funny thing, my knee didn't hurt. My knee didn't hurt. I was fine. And by the time I hit the end of there's a piece of this course that's through the bush. And I had one goal, and that was to get through the bush by dark. Now, considering I was already running in twilight, and twilight with the dark setting in, it was coming. I ended up getting through the bush and onto the gravel road, and then it's into town. And it was a beautiful thing to be out there until I hit the part where I hit the pavement and heading to town. It was awful. Totally awful. Why it was awful? I had a crosswind that was nasty. It was cold. And right there, I had a new respect for the dark. I had a new respect as to how cold the dark can be. So running into town, the crosswind was just relentless. It was merciless. It was relentless. And finally, I saw the lights of St. Paul. And in one hand, it is, thank goodness, there's the lights of St. Paul. The other hand, this is prairie. And I saw the lights for an ungodly amount of time. And these lights are not coming very soon. They're inching their way towards me. And it was just like, it was awful. But you know what? In some ways, it was just, by the time I saw the lights, I was glad to be done. But it ended up that my foot hit pavement. I came into town and my team was waiting there for me, and they ran me in. My husband ran me in. Now, my husband's a couch potato, and he ran me in, and that was one of the best feelings of my life, is seeing my husband prance along beside me, and they ran me to the finish line, and I ran across, and it was a gift. It really was. That race gave me a huge, huge gift, and that is to say goodbye to my mom. And that's the thing with these races, particularly ultras. You don't know what you're going to be handed. It's more than the course. It really is. It's more than the course. It is. One thing I could say is if you've ever heard, if you want to talk to God, run an ultra. Oh, that is so true. That is so very, very true. Ultras give you the chance, especially if you're going for the long haul, the long ones. They give you a chance to face your demons. They give you a chance to face the best part of you. They give you a chance to talk to your higher power. Like it's a mixed bag. It really is. And especially when you're out there by yourself and you're in that silence. It's different. It really is. It's not for the faint of heart. I'll tell you that much. But you know what? It's a real gift. So after the race, we're driving back and it was sunny again. Thanks. And the next we got home on Sunday. Monday, I got a call to talk to my mom for real one last time. And this one was goodbye for real. And my mom passed away the next day, 4:00 in the morning. So I had the chance to say goodbye, both at the race and both at home, talking to her. And then came the funeral, and funerals aren't pleasant. Doesn't matter what way you look at them. Funerals aren't pleasant. But I gave my mom one final gift. I delivered her funeral. I gave her a funeral, and my brothers, my sister-in-law, myself, we told stories of mom's life and how she impacted us. And then we carried her out to the burial plot. That was hard. That was really hard. Because leaving mom at the gravesite, in some ways, it's a feeling of being alone. Again. But you know what? Things get better. Because in the running community, particularly the ultra running community, particularly in the trail running community, it's a community. If you let yourself be in it, if you let yourself be a part of this community, realize that we all have our struggles. We all have our things that we need to heal, and we need to get over. And there's no better place, as what I see it, is something that really challenges you. And my sport's ultra running, whereas another person's sport might be more hiking. That's fine. And you know what? Hikes challenge you as well too. Bike racing, mountain bike racing, they're challenges. And you know what the biggest gift you could give to yourself and to anyone else, particularly those who love you and those who are gone before you, is to live your life. Is to live your life to the fullest that you can. Take life by the horns. Give it all you've got. Because you know what? You only have one time around. This time around. So take it. Let yourself be adventurous. Let yourself be curious. Let yourself be the person that you're meant to be. As for me, Iron Horse Ultra, you were something special. You were something special that I never counted on. And every race has a gift. That is true. Every race that you enter, it's a gift, whether it's meeting with friends, whether it's getting over yourself one more time, whether it's just a chance to experience. Every race has a gift. Every outing has a gift. It's up to you to accept them. So I'm talking to you as a fellow runner, a fellow sports enthusiast. Give it your best shot. Give it your best shot. And if you're on the track of, you know what, I'm getting older, maybe I should settle down. Really? You want to settle down? I don't think so. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe you want to go hike an amazing hike in Europe somewhere. Go for it. But you know what? Don't settle. Don't settle. Ask people if you're alone in the quiet if they would have settled. Nah, they wouldn't have. So here we are at the end of another week. And where I am, it's snowing again. But you know what? I'm going to be out there anyway. So to all of you, to you tuning in, thank you. I thank you very much. And we have a community, and especially those of you who are older, masters runners, those of you who are back of the packers, you're in the right place. And let's go for it. You know, the season we're in Alberta, it's starting to be spring. It's the most hobbit spring I've ever experienced in my life. But you know what? This is a new year. This is a new year. Let's make it a hell of a year. Why not? What have you got to lose? Absolutely nothing. Maybe a few pounds. Anyway, we shall see you next week. Take care. And you know what? Get out there and get some trail. You'll feel a lot better for it. Until next week, have fun and get some trail.